Hello, human. Did you know that you are a writer? When I have trouble believing that about myself, I like to return to what my hero Donald Murray describes as his most effective writing exercise. Now, he recommends a small stack of 3x5 index cards, at least 4, but maybe a couple extra just in case. But you can also do this with just a regular piece of paper that you've torn into 4 pieces, or even the Notes app on your phone. However, I would advise against trying to do this with 4 separate full-size sheets of paper or a single sheet of paper that you divided into quadrants, because the power of the writing exercise comes from 2 things. First, the writing space needs to be small and constrained so that you can definitely fill it up in 4 minutes. And second, after that 4 minutes, you need to be able to cover it up with the next index card or scrap of paper, or just scroll down a little in your Notes app so that you can't see what you wrote before. So anything that will do those 2 things will work, but go ahead and pause the video now if you need to gather supplies. All right, if you've got what you need, let's get into it. Now, I've already made another video where I do a deep dive into Donald Murray's background and explain why I think this exercise is so effective. The link to that is down in the description. But here's the short version. Take a 3x5 inch card and start writing. Let your pen tell you what to say. In this case, no one is going to see it. Write what you keep thinking about, the same way your tongue finds the place where the tooth used to be. Write what you need to know. Write what others need to know. Put words down until they wiggle snake-like toward a sentence. Write that sentence. Follow it. No thesis statement, no assignment, no story starter, no prompt, no outline. Just plunge in and allow the writing to tell you what you have to say. When one side of the card is full, take a new card and start over. Tell the same story again. Then take a new card and start over. When you are finished, it usually takes about 4 minutes a card, take yet a 4th card and start over again. Take a 5th card if you need to. Read the last card, then compare it with the first one. You will find you had something important to say, and it is usually not what you expected. You are a writer. Writing is not thinking written down after the thinking is completed. Writing is thinking. Okay, so since Murray says it takes him 4 minutes a card, and he recommends doing it at least 4 times, let's put 16 minutes on the clock. I'll play some music in the background, and I'll be right there on camera doing the exercise with you in real time. There will be a countdown showing how many minutes are left and what card you should be on if you were trying to stay roughly on schedule, but don't stress too much about that. Move at your own pace. If you want to do an extra card, do an extra card. If you need more time, pause the video. If you finish early, you can go ahead and skip ahead. But I hope that you will stick around until the end, because I'll show you my cards, talk about what was different between the first and the 4th. And I hope some of you will be brave enough to share your experience in the comments below. What changed between the first card and the 4th? And did this exercise convince you that you are a writer? 16 minutes begins now. Well done, writer. You've made it to the end. What do you notice as you compare your final card to your first one? Were there any discoveries you made along the way, any subtle shifts in perspective, any change at all? If so, I would consider that a win. Now, you may not be completely happy with the last card. You're not ready to frame it or publish it or anything. But if there's been progress or even change, then you're discovering that writing is thinking and that you can return to this process and learn more and dive deeper. And that's really all that writing is. Now, as you might imagine, I was completing this exercise under less than ideal conditions this time, because I was recording myself, nervous about what you might see on my card, and also busy with all the shenanigans of trying to keep the timer and other visuals going. But nevertheless, it was surprisingly effective. As you can see, my writing is fairly stream of conscious, which is in line with what Murray does sometimes as well. He often talked about fragments of language bouncing off of each other, or just writing down a single word that interests him until that word connects with another word that interests him, which might become a phrase, which eventually becomes a sentence, which can become a paragraph. And of course, I didn't end up with a nice paragraph by my fourth card, but I did end up with a surprise. So I was writing about this car ride I had with a Native American elder named Gary a couple years ago, and I've been trying to write an essay about that experience ever since and keep getting stuck. And part of that may be because Gary said we were talking about old man wisdom, things that I just wasn't ready to fully appreciate at that time. And on my fourth card, I just noticed this connection between my fascination with Gary and my fascination with this other old man, Donald Murray. But what really surprised me was the noticing that I feel like an older man now. I feel older than I was 2 years ago, and not just because 2 years has passed. So what about you? Any small discovery, small insight, or anything that just surprised you between the first card and the last one? Tell me about it in the comments below. And until next time, may your writing reveal a truer truth you didn't know you knew, and a way to convey this truth to the humans who need to hear it.